Hey, and welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're tired of all that one-size-fits-all study advice that just doesn't work for your brain, you have definitely come to the right place. Today, we're going to build a personalized toolkit with strategies designed specifically for neurodivergent minds. Have you ever been told you're just not trying hard enough? This quote right here from autistic advocate Faith Sitko, wow, it just hits home. It really highlights a super common and, let's be honest, a deeply frustrating experience for so many neurodivergent students. And here's the thing. The real problem isn't your effort. It's not you. It's that so many of those standard techniques, the ones like just focus or, oh, just try harder, they're just not built for the way your brain is actually wired. So what we're talking about here is neurodiversity. It's this idea that brain differences are totally normal, not something that's wrong. So this explainer, it's all about finding what works for you. It's about learning to understand and really honor your unique way of thinking, instead of trying to fight against it all the time. Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to build this toolkit by looking at 4 key areas: hacking your study space, taming time and tasks, finding smarter study methods, and super importantly, advocacy and self-care. All right, first things first, we're going to talk about hacking your study space. The idea here is to create a zone that's actually sensory friendly, a place where your brain can really focus. And that all starts with being intentional about your physical space. The key here is to basically become a scientist of your own senses. You gotta experiment. What helps you concentrate? What just drains your energy? The whole goal is to figure out that perfect mix of light, sound, and comfort that creates your ideal focus zone. And remember, you can control all these things. Think of it like you're building your own personal focus cockpit. Maybe for you, it's ambient music, or maybe it's total silence with noise-canceling headphones. Maybe you need a clean desk, or maybe a comfy beanbag chair is your jam. And hey, don't forget things like fidget toys if they help you. It's all about creating a space that supports your energy instead of draining it. Okay, so we've hacked the outside world. Now let's move on to taming time and tasks. We're going to go from paralysis to progress. Because for a lot of neurodivergent folks, just starting, planning, or finishing something can be a massive challenge. It can lead to that awful feeling of being completely and totally stuck. And let's be super clear about something. This is not laziness. We're talking about task paralysis, which is a real involuntary neurological response. It honestly feels like your brain's ignition is just jammed, no matter how hard you're trying to turn the key. Now, this is a really important point. How is this different from regular old procrastination? Well, procrastination is usually a choice. You're deciding to put something off. But task paralysis, that's involuntary. It's driven by this intense anxiety and overwhelm. And just knowing that difference can be the first step to stop blaming yourself and actually find a solution that works. So how do you break that freeze? The whole game is to lower the barrier to entry until it feels almost ridiculously easy to start. First, try a brain dump. Just get everything out of your head and onto paper. Then break the task down into the tiniest possible steps. Instead of write essay, your first step is open laptop. Seriously. Then just pick 1 to 3 things to focus on, and sometimes you just need an accountability buddy or an app to get you going. Okay, let's talk about time blindness. Ever look up at the clock and have absolutely no idea where the last few hours went? That's a real thing. It's this struggle to internally feel time passing. But the good news is, external tools can be a total game changer here. And this is where technology can be a huge help. Visual timers, for example, actually show you the time slipping away. And focus apps can even turn your study sessions into a game. These tools make time something you can see and manage. They're perfect for stuff like the Pomodoro method, where you work in short, focused bursts and then take a break. It's brilliant. All right, so your space is ready, your schedule makes sense. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how to study. We're talking about smarter study methods that actually work with the way you learn. A really powerful strategy is multi-sensory learning. Basically, get as many of your senses involved as possible. Don't just read something. See it with a mind map or a video. Hear it by listening to a podcast or reading it out loud. And then do something with it. Build a model, act it out, play a game. The more senses you use, the better the information sticks. And let's not forget about tech that can, translate the world for you. You can use speech to text to just speak your ideas instead of wrestling with typing. You can have an immersive reader read text out loud to you, which is amazing for comprehension and for catching your own mistakes.
Or you can even scribble notes with a stylus and have it magically turn into neat text. These tools are built right into a lot of software, and they can be lifesavers. Okay, finally, let's talk about the foundation for all of this: advocacy and self-care. Because honestly, none of these other strategies will stick if you aren't protecting your own well-being.
I really want to talk about something called autistic burnout. And this is not the same as just feeling tired from work. It's this intense, profound state of mental, emotional, and physical exhaustion. It often comes from the long-term stress of masking, which is basically having to hide who you are to navigate the world. And it can actually lead to losing skills and experiencing real pain.
So it is absolutely crucial to recognize the warning signs. Are you finding it harder to talk? Feeling just completely sluggish and tired no matter how much you sleep? Are you feeling aches or pains? Or just emotionally numb? These are huge red flags. Your body is telling you to slow down and rest before you hit a wall.
And this brings us to a really important point, especially in college. You have to be your own biggest advocate. This isn't high school anymore. Your professors won't know you need help unless you tell them. It's really on you to ask for what you need.
So, how do you actually do that? First, get your official accommodations sorted through your school's disability services. Then, go to your professor's office hours. Do it early in the semester. Hand them your accommodation letter, and then just briefly explain what works for you. Something simple like, hey, I process things a lot better when I can record the lectures. This isn't being needy, it's being smart. It's a strategic move to set yourself up for success.
So, to wrap it all up, let's look at the pillars of success we've talked about. First, hack your environment to make it sensory friendly. Second, tame your time by making it visible and breaking tasks way, way down. Third, study smarter using multisensory and tech-assisted methods. And finally, advocate for yourself and get the rest you need. It's all about working with your brain, not against it.
And look, the most powerful tool in your entire toolkit is self-compassion. Seriously, you don't have to do all of this overnight. Just pick one thing. So what's one strategy you're going to try to honor your brain? Start small and see what happens.